2018. If you were in crypto in 2018, you know how diabolical the crypto bear market was. It was just wild. I got in the end of 2017 and experienced the top of crypto, experienced the entire bear market, and it was brutal. But let's go ahead and talk about what's happening, because a lot of people think that we are not in a super cycle. They don't think altcoin season is happening, and they are just calling a bear market. I'm Wendy O. I talk everything crypto every single day. I live stream 7 days a week, and I put out multiple content pieces for you guys. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe, of course, set alerts, and do all the things. Now, are we in a crypto bear market? It feels like it. It definitely feels like it, considering we had that top and then we had that really nasty, what was it, like 20% drop, 20%, 25% drop that we experienced with the great liquidation of about $20 billion. And a lot of people think that it was the top and think that we've kind of fell off, etc. But let's go ahead and kind of talk about what's happening and why this time may be different. Before we do that, back in 2021, we actually had two market tops, and this was my second crypto bull run that I was in. So April 12th, 2021, we topped off, I want to say close to like $65,000. And then November 8th, 2021, we topped off, I want to say $68,000. And that was about a 7-month difference. So we had these really, really wonderful price pumps. We saw altcoin season, we saw DeFi season, we saw NFT season. We saw a lot of different sectors in crypto completely pop off. And then, we had these really, really volatile drops. The last drop that we saw, which in November 8th, 2021, that was essentially the crypto contagion. And that was due to too much lending of our money without proper disclosure. And again, banks do that too, but the difference between banks and crypto is FDIC regulations, all that type of stuff. It is, but it isn't, but it is. I'm not going to get into that in this cycle, but or this talk here, because we talk about it a lot. But Bitcoin saw their first red October candle since 2018, which is a pretty gnarly indication. Also, too, spot Bitcoin ETFs saw their largest daily outflow since August of $536 million. So let's talk about the crypto markets and what we can potentially, see what's happening. We could have two all-time highs this cycle, like we saw in 2021. That's a scenario that very well could be happening. Right now, taking a look at price, I think the crypto market cap is around 3.7 or $3.5 trillion. Bitcoin right now, we saw about $224 million in liquidations. Majority were shorts. I can't show graphs. I'm streaming on my phone. I do this generally on my desktop. This is just an impromptu stream. You can go ahead and check it out yourself, though. I'll be streaming again tomorrow talking about charts. But then we saw heavy liquidations again. But really, were they that heavy? We're talking about liquidations. That's not money that leaves the market necessarily. When we're talking about liquidations, we're talking about, trading accounts that get essentially blown up, and then it kind of flows back into crypto. So people do lose money, but not at the extent that they're saying. So that's kind of a good thing. But realistically, at the end of the day, it's kind of bearish. And when we saw those $20 billion liquidations, that was done with, the people are blaming the centralized exchanges and whatnot, which I'm not saying is not true. But there's still a lot of information coming out, still a lot of speculation. And then in addition to that, we saw the China-Trump tariffs, or the China-US tariffs, the announcement. And again, we still don't know what's happening with that. What makes this cycle a little bit unique compared to 2021 is, number one, we have a pro-crypto president. We have a pro-crypto, realistically, pro-crypto government, which is really, really good, because we're able to essentially establish laws that allow for crypto to flourish in America. It's no longer, we're going to sue you, or we're going to do this, or we're going to do that. It's basically like, hey, this is what's happening. We are going to, try to evolve crypto. We're trying to give you boundaries. And that's exactly what they're doing. So it's a very different time that we saw in 2021 to today. Also, in addition to that, we have all these crypto spot ETFs that are just kind of sitting on the sidelines. People are like, when are these going to get approved? Because again, some of them will be able to get approved because primarily the new generic listing standards. And again, analysts have anticipated between around $8 billion per crypto spot ETF to flow into the market, which will help with liquidity, help with volume, all that type of stuff. So it's good. But we're still waiting, we're pending. And the reason why it's pending is because we do have the We do have the government shutdown, so we're kind of waiting on that to see what's going to happen. So not only do we have all the tariff war between U.S. and China, but which a lot of it is tech stuff and minerals and whatnot, a lot of other things, but those are the big ones as it applies to crypto. But we also have the government shutdown, so we're not really able to pass any type of legislation right now. And I think that a lot of people, CIPHER, I do think that a lot of people do. In crypto, we're a little self-entitled and like, we got to move on all this crypto stuff. But realistically, the United States has a lot of other problems. So it's a priority, but it's not like a super, super big priority. Good thing is, Paul Atkins, SEC chairs, like crypto is our priority. So once they get opened up, we'll see a little bit more pushing on that, in my opinion. So should we anticipate that this is the end for this particular cycle? We can. Should we be patient and kind of see what happens and, reevaluate our portfolios or trading and investing strategies? 100%. You should always do that. Definitely always do that. I don't necessarily know if I think this is the top. I mean, maybe the local top for now, just like we had in 2021, where we peaked at April 12th, the week of April 12th, and then we peaked again November 8th, and we had the really gnarly drawdown. I mean, the big liquidation event, that was a really big bearish event, kind of like a black swan. But at the same time, we still have the treasuries, the DATS, the digital asset treasury strategies, and those sorts of things. So with that being said, we're just kind of on the sidelines waiting. And one of the most questions that I get asked is, Wendy, when are we going to see altcoin season, or why isn't XRP moving? Because we have all this bullish news. Well, the reason why XRP is not moving, number one, and a lot of the large caps, is because primarily because we kind of saw that happen. We kind of saw them pump already. We saw XRP pump from like 50 cents to $3.30, I think, or $3, something around those lines. We saw a lot of the top 100 cryptos pump 10 times, 5 times, 20 times to an extent, and some of them did. So I think it's important to kind of pay attention to that and also understand that every single cycle is a little bit different. So have we topped off? I think for now we potentially have. I mean, we can take a look at the charts and kind of see what's going on. But again, there's a lot of institutional interest. Every single week, it's like a brand new traditional financial entity that kind of pops in the market. It's like, hey, we want some of your market share. So with that being said, I'm just going to enjoy my Saturday. I'm going to enjoy my Saturday. I'm going to enjoy the coming weeks. I'm going to enjoy the rest of 2025. Obviously, I want the market to go up because I want to make money. But at the same time, I understand that the markets don't care about me. They don't care about my feelings, that they're going to continue to do what they want to do. So I'm not going to necessarily try to guess too hard, like when the bottom is or when we're going to have the top, etc. Even though I did pretty good last cycle. I think realistically, it's important to just kind of focus on my own portfolios, my own portfolio, my own investing strategy, share some of that with you. But realistically, at the end of the day, I do think that the markets, this might be like a prolonged thing, because at the same time, we haven't gotten the crypto spot ETFs approved yet. And I think that that's going to be a really, really big thing that happens. Now, with that being said, I want to give a shout out to everybody who's watching right now, to Mr. Dale and to Mr. Slim. Thank you guys so much for being here. But again, this is the worst October since 2018. The chart is not looking super great right now. You might want to prepare for a drop drop below $100,000 Bitcoin, and just, kind of play your cards that way. If you're somebody that's holding long-term, then you already know what to do, but make sure that you're holding stuff that you do think is going to do well in long term. But anyways, that's what's going on for the news today. I've got a short for you guys coming out 2 p.m. PT, and then I'll be streaming again tomorrow, doing a little bit of a market update. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will catch you guys 2 p.m. PT and then tomorrow. And again, go enjoy a delicious apple fritter. And if you go to my Instagram stories, which you guys should all be following me on Instagram, I posted a really fun photo about stuff about my donut this morning. But yeah, do take care of yourselves. Trading and investing is very hard mentally, so make sure to take care of yourselves, and it's okay to kind of decompress and whatnot. But anyways, sending you guys love and light.